Hey Salem, welcome to this month's edition of Building Buzz. Thanks for watching us, and we have your monthly update about what's going on the property and what's going on with the project. So we are in the CCTV studios here today because there are some other events that are going on the site today, and we'll talk about those later on in this edition of Building Buzz. But with me today, I have Ricardo Besserell from Day CPM. He is our owner's rep and project manager on that. Alan Dannon from City of Salem Public Works, who is the city's project manager. So those guys have a lot of weight on their shoulders, and we're going to talk about that today. And then with me from previous edition of Building Buzz is Jim Ray from J.E. Dunn, who is our general contractor. And so we're going to talk today about the processes that are going on to get subcontractors for this project and what we're looking for in those processes. So Ricardo, with this project, we went with the CMGC method of contracting, which is different. So why did we choose that method? Help explain to the community what that is.
Sure. Well, the first thing to know, Steve, is that CMGC stands for Construction Manager General Contractor, and it's a highly regulated alternative form of contracting that's regulated by the Oregon Revised Statutes. It allows public entities to be able to have choice in how they procure their general contractor, because there's not just a single solution for how we hire a general contractor on every single project. So what most people are familiar with is they're used to completing a design using their architect, let's say for instance, as a general perspective, and then they take that completed set of documents and they go out and they ask for bids from competition from different general contractors. What CMGC is it's totally different than that. You're actually hiring a general contractor at the same time as you're hiring your architect. So the next logical question is, what's really the benefit? And the benefit is that you're getting a contractor on board early on in the process so that you can drive towards certainty when it comes to the budget, certainty when it comes to the schedule, certainty when it comes to the scope. Whenever surprises come up on a construction project, those are usually not good. And so the earlier on in the process that we can drive towards that certainty, the better off we are.
So Alan, you've worked on a number of big projects for the city, and so one of the questions I get from people is that we've talked about the RFP process, and people don't understand what that is. So can you give us an idea of how we're using the RFP process on this project and how we've used it on other projects?
Sure, Steve. So most people, when they think about public projects, they think that the typical way that projects get awarded is by whoever submits the lowest bid. And that's true for a lot of projects, but using the CMGC process, like Ricardo described, we can use something called an RFP process, request for proposals, where we can consider more than just the lowest price. So what we look for there with the team, it starts with when we're selecting our CMGC, but can also extend to key subcontractors like mechanical and electrical. And what we're looking for is the best combination of their qualifications, their firm history, the team players they bring to the job, their safety record, as well as competitive pricing to find the best partner to make sure that we get the project delivered on budget and on time.
So using this process, it's helpful if we have more subcontractors apply, because then we get a competitive process and we can look at a lot of different things other than just what their pricing is in this process.
Absolutely right. The more people involved in the process, the deeper pool we have to select from, and we're going to get the best team member that we can to help us complete the project.
So Jim, as Alan talked about, the bigger the pool of subcontractors, the better product we get, the better pricing we get. So that kind of falls on you as our contractor. How do we get that bigger pool, and how do you partner with us to make sure that happens?
Yeah, Steve. So since the last Building Buzz episode that I participated in, we've held 2 outreach events at the Salem Chamber. One was for earthwork, and one was for our mechanical, electrical, and plumbing trade partners to come and learn about the project. Since that time, we've actually awarded our mechanical and electrical trade partners through the RFP process that was just talked about. We've also reached out to the Latino Business Alliance and have done some outreach through Salem Capital Connects. We actually have we'll be profiling the project on September 25th at Salem Capital Connects. We also just recently, in response to our outreach effort on earthwork, just put the earthwork package out for competitive bid. So that is out on the street right now. So we're hoping that all that outreach will produce a lot of engagement from our earthwork trade partners. We will have a concrete package coming out within the next week and a half or so. And as discussed at our last Building Buzz episode, the balance of the bidding will actually take place after the completion of the construction documents, which will be right around mid-February of 2019.
So the big question I get asked a lot is, when are we going to start seeing the heavy machinery on that site, and when are we going to see stuff really kind of happening?
Yeah, that's a moment that we're all really excited for. It's probably going to be happening here sometime in early November.
Great. So then when we really tell people to look at the live camera, they'll actually see something going on there. And
we'll actually see some dirt moving around and hopefully some concrete flowing out of trucks.
All right, that'll be cool. So, Ricardo, all these outreach efforts that Jim has talked about and this RFP process, why is that important for us in this project?
Well, it's really important for a couple different reasons. One is, Steve, we're in a really hot economy. Subcontractors have a lot of projects to pick from, and so our goal collectively as a group is to make sure that we're making our project as appealing as possible to the marketplace. That's going to drive competition. It's also important, as I mentioned at the onset, for regulatory reasons, because we're required, no matter what procurement method we utilize, utilizing CMGC, J.E. Dunn as our CMGC, it's making sure that no matter which selection process we're using, we're maintaining competition, we're not discriminating, and we're maximizing subcontractor participation in our efforts.
Great. I mean, the bottom line is we want the best value for the dollar that we can get, and competition and lots of subcontractors being involved in this process makes the project better.
Absolutely.
So as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're filming in studio rather than on site because right now Kimberly Fitzgerald, the city archaeologist, and a team of folks are on the site doing some archaeological exploration, looking for artifacts from what was on the site before it became a car dealership in the early 1960s. So that used to be a residential neighborhood with apartment buildings and other things. So they are out there on site now digging, and I was out there this morning. They've already found some really cool things like square nails and some broken brick and some things like that. So we want to share this cool experience with you. So on September 10th from 11 to 1, we're inviting the public to come out to the site and to talk to the archaeologists that are doing the work and see what's going on and see what they found. So you can park at the Marion Parkade and walk over to the site and see what's going on. We'll be there to direct you to where you need to go. Remember, this is a construction site, so dress for the weather. Wear appropriate footwear. Don't wear flip-flops because you're going to be walking across rough terrain. But come out and see what's going on. It's exciting to share this, and it's exciting to know about the history of that site. So please come on out, and please like and share this video and help us build some buzz around town for the new Salem Police Station. Thanks for watching.